The SEC Championship is exactly the type of big stage that Jackie likes. With the fastest time in the 6K so far this season, she likes her chances moving forward.
It's been going really well. I improved a lot this year from last year, so I'm just really happy with how it's going. And I think I've just been consistent the last 2 years in my training, and I guess keep racing to my potential and believing in myself. It's just been a lot easier since I've gotten older.
Jackie has had a good, solid, and consistent season up to this point. She's done very well in every meet. She's been our #1 runner up to this point.
I'm just excited to race and feel good and have fun. This is my last year.
I'm excited that the conditions are wet right now. Everyone has to run in it. Conditions are equal across the board. We just have to dig in and go for it. But I'm optimistic about our outcome.
Now, third overall, that's a great finish, but having the fastest time, I can't help but think you're a little disappointed.
Yeah, I was definitely going for the win, but I really ran hard today. It's probably one of the most tough races I've run, so I can be happy with that. I still got a medal, and I think 15th place is the highest I've ever got at SECs for cross country, so it's an improvement. I'm happy with it.
While Harrison finished a career-best third place individually, it was Florida and lead runner Rebecca Lowe who took home the top honors. You have to be pretty happy with the outcome today in a sloppy track.
Every race I've been improving, and we're looking at the big one, which is nationals. So the team, that's our main goal, nationals, and we're hoping for a good finish there.
Now it's on to regionals, November 14th in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the top 2 teams will advance to nationals, scheduled for Monday, November 30th. In Oxford, Mississippi, for SEC Weekly, I'm Dave Serra.
It's just time to thank God and say, hey, thank you so much, I'm able to run again.
Kirwe's comeback is remarkable considering how long it took for the pain in his back to go away. It was a very real possibility that his running days were over. A soul-crushing thought for a young man who came all the way from Africa to chase his dream.
So far, I would say so good. We started the season and it's been going, and I'm impressed with the way I've been doing so far.
We are led on the men's side by Barnabas Carew, and he's had a phenomenal year again this year. He's finally healthy and running well, and so that's been a highlight for us. And it is good to see him come back and see him ready to run again.
It's been a challenge, I would say, throughout the season. You know, it's like learning to run all together again.
I think that speaks to his character and the kind of person he is, that he fought through it. It wasn't any fun fighting through it as a coach or as an athlete.
My coach has been one of the most understanding people in time, making me transition myself from that period to being able to run again. To have somebody who understands, it's really motivating.
When he was hurting, they were hurting. So when he's back, it's really exciting to see him back, and it fires everybody up.
I've never seen a runner go out and dominate people as well as he does. He's just an all-around athlete in the sport of cross country.
How special is it after sitting out 2 years with your back to finally be back in action running at top form?
Oh, it's the best feelings you can get, and especially the fact that we were hosting today. For it to be a time when somebody from Ole Miss can win is pretty special to me.
Over 200 people here in Oxford, Mississippi have something in common. They all love running. Now, why in the world would anyone love running? Well, ask a few questions and you quickly find out. It's all about pushing past the pain to get to the pleasure. The autumn leaves once again reveal their true colors, transforming the Southeast into a magnificent array of majestic beauty. Hundreds of unique and elite student athletes must also dig deep inside to reveal their true colors. With each stride, a constant and familiar battle engages in the body, mind, and soul of the cross-country runner.
It's inside each one of these guys, a passion. It's a self-motivation. It's definitely an inner drive.
If you don't have that dedication and the drive to get out here and do what we do every day, then you're probably not going to succeed at the level that we're at right now.
Everything's not perfect. You do have weather conditions. You have to go uphill, downhill. You have unsure footing.
The familiar sound and rhythm of footsteps pounding against the diverse terrain is the only constant cross country. Heat, rain, rocks, wind, and hills are very much the commonplace, as each and every athlete must maneuver around the course and over their own physical and mental barriers.
And when you're running, you know, there are days where I'm like, I don't know why I do this.
It's quite painful. You've got to be tough the whole time.
After the halfway point, you kind of have to ask yourself how bad do you really want it.
All right, stay nice. It's just the sport of how far you can go in your mind, how far you can push yourself, and see how strong you are mentally.
Let's go! Gotta give me 2 minutes, Jordan.
It's a way of teaching yourself a lesson that you can endure more than you are feeling at that particular time.
The competition helps push you to places you've never been before. You're going to test your limits. You kind of got to figure out how fast can I go and still make it to the finish.
Take your time. You got it, 88. You got it.
Mile after mile, the heart beats louder, the sweat drips faster, and eventually pain sweeps through the body, forcing each runner to question his or her own destiny. Tweeted out long ago are the weak, the faint of heart, or those unwilling to sacrifice. At this level, visions of victory keep minds focused and legs moving in hopes of obtaining hard-fought success at the finish line.
One of the best things about a run is when you're finished. The feeling you get, the satisfaction of completing the task.
You get a really good feeling after you've done something that most people can't do.
As soon as you finish that race and cross the finish line, it's just the greatest feeling.
It's a very good feeling that you enjoy when you win.
Usually when people get involved in it, they kind of get hooked, so to speak.
It just continues to fuel the fire on wanting more.
They wouldn't be out here doing this unless they absolutely loved it and just found some type of inner peace and joy from it.
Although a team sport, it's the individual self-discipline, mental toughness, and the innate ability to push the human body past unimaginable limits that determine success. And the next day, you must get up and do it again, for this is cross country. Unlike his father, Joe Jr. didn't grow up wanting to be a cross-country coach, a coach of any kind. In fact, he was a business major here at Ole Miss before around junior year he decided, well, yeah, coaching really was in his blood.
Walk and jog, we'll slowly get going. Get the blood flowing. I love the sport. It's exciting, it's fun, it's what I know. All right, we got 5 minutes, we gotta be at box 6. There was a time I fought it, you know, most kids, you're like, hey, I don't want to do what Dad does. I can't, you know, I don't want to fall into that line. And then I was probably 18 or 19 and realized, hey, I know I'm going to be good at this. This is what I can do. And it was just a natural cycle for me to get into it.
Hey, run your race, okay? You be smart. You know where you're at, okay?
I grew up around coaches, you know, and they rubbed off on me a lot. I've always tried to take pluses from everyone I've run across. I love to go against my dad. We're very competitive. That's one thing I got from him is that competitiveness. And then to go head-to-head against each other often is fun.
If I can beat him, and if I can beat him, I will. Right now, he's beating me, so I've got to bite my lip and live with it.
Growing up to ultimately becoming a third-generation coach, competition was a way of life in the Walker household. And as Coach Joe Walker's Rebels boast the strongest individual runner, it's Joe III looking to field the fastest team in the conference.
Defending champs now, okay? It's ours. We got to defend it. Let's bring it back to Tuscaloosa.
There's 1 or 2 teams that are really standing out, you know, that are kind of out there. And then after that, there's probably 6 or 7 of us that are all very similar.
Get tough. When that moment comes right in the middle, make the choice to compete.
Most teams' goals, obviously, are to go to nationals and be top 4.
Let's go, guys.
You know, I don't think you coach an event. I think you coach a person. And if you learn what makes that person click, what motivates that person, if you can figure that out, I think that's at the heart of what we do. Each guy brings kind of a different mindset, a different skill set to the game. So you can see something to like in each one of those guys. We're pretty close as far as talent across the board. Some are better than others in different climates, different scenarios. We've got 2 guys that have won SEC titles on the team before. So you kind of would have to side with the guy that's done it before. Tyson David, Emmanuel Bohr. We're about where we expect to be. We know we've got a team that can contend at the national level. In our area of the country, everything's about conference. The SEC title is something as a coach that you point towards.
In first place, the University of Alabama.
Because you know if you're the best in the SEC, you're one of the best in the country.
Roll, roll, roll.